I knew I was in trouble when I stopped thinking what would happen to everyone if I committed suicide, and started thinking, what's everyone gonna say when I commit suicide?
And when did you reach that decision, Mr. McCready, that you were definitely going to commit suicide?
I don't know. It just seemed the natural course to take after everything that's happened to me. I mean, I've read those articles. You know, the ones that tell you if you're in danger of a heart attack. They list a few stress factors, you check off a few things, you get your score at the bottom. I checked off every one. All of those things on that list have happened to me. Promotion, increased job responsibilities, separation, divorce, threat of losing job, a move, loss of a loved one. The only thing I missed was a new child, and I guess that's a blessing now.
Frank, your dog died. That's hardly the equivalent to losing a loved one.
I was talking about my sister.
Well, that's been, what, over 5 years now, correct? I think your healing process should be about done by now.
Not everyone heals the same, Doc. I mean, Chelsea was all I had. She died. Then I met Darla, and she left me. And losing my dog wasn't easy either. I mean, after Darla left, she was all I had to come home to. Everyone that was ever important to me has left me, alone. Then I hurt all over again. Look, it all comes down to that score at the bottom. I'm on my way to a pine box, or at least 1,000 ulcers. Nobody scores that high and lives. Why not just end it?
You're being overly dramatic. What did I say about playing to an imagined audience? Quit trying to be some sympathetic victim. Let's just keep things as factual as possible, okay? It is true that all this happened to you. Some of these things were beyond your ability to control. We're here to discuss the things that are in your ability to control. You came to me because consultation failed to save your marriage. Isn't that right? You wanted to try and fix those things in your life you felt contributed to your wife's leaving. I want to try something, Frank. I used this exercise when I worked for the city. What do you see when you close your eyes?
What? When I close my eyes?
Yes, we all keep something hidden behind our eyes. A truth that only we know. Whether it be an image of ourselves that is fit, powerful, confident. I think you keep a story there, Frank. What is it?
Well, I'm driving home from work. It's really late. I pass by this park that's near my house. It's where I used to walk Sasha. I have my windows down and I hear a woman scream. I slam on the brakes and jump out. It's a woman, and she's in trouble. Some ugly behemoth is going to rape or kill her. He's trying to drag her behind the trees. I know I can't let that happen, so I grab my bokken and run after them.
I'm sorry, bokken? What is a bokken?
It's a wooden practice sword. It looks like a standard katana, but it's made of wood. It's a wooden samurai sword.
And you would choose this in your fantasy over a personal weapon?
Of course. The idea is that if you're good enough, you don't need anything more than a bokken. Musashi only used a bokken in the later years of his life. You have his novel, Book of Five Rings, right there. Didn't you ever read it?
Oh, please, go on.
I run after him, sword drawn.
Get your fucking hands off her!
But the asshole pulls a gun and shoots me.
Shoots you?
Yeah. He turns around and leaves me for dead.
No! Take your fucking shirt off! Fucking take it off now! Take it off! Come on. That's it.
I leap up, and within human speed start attacking. I take the man apart bit by bit. I hit his hands, his legs, his kidneys. He's a mess when I'm through with him. Finally, he drops. And in a moment, I do too. And find the woman leaning over me. She's crying tears of joy at being saved. Yet she's also sad because she can tell I'm about to die. She's never going to know who I was. Never going to thank me. Never going to love me. A small kiss placed on my lips. And I die.
Still watching a lot of movies, eh, Frank?
Well, no. But I'm able to do my job better if I know all about the films.
Do the other managers watch as many films?
Not that I know of.
And they still manage to do their jobs, okay? Could you indeed even do the job if you didn't watch a movie, or let's be honest, several movies every night?
Well, yeah, I could, but I wouldn't have the incredibly high customer satisfaction ratings. I wouldn't have the #1 store in the district.
But you watched this many movies before this job, didn't you? Actually, you've had several jobs involving movies. You've worked at several retail locations, all involved in the video industry. What is it that constantly drives you to movies, Frank?
Anyone can do anything, anyone can be the hero, anything can happen. I like watching that world from the outside. It gives me a chance to see someone get it right for once.
How did you sleep last night, Frank?
Not too good. I've never been a good sleeper. Even as a kid, I've always had these really vivid dreams, like movies in my mind.
Want to tell me about last night?
Well, as I said before, I always get my best movie ideas from my dreams. Last night's was a doozy. If I could just get it down on paper, I'm sure it would sell, and then all my stress would be gone. It starts with these two kids, and they're running after a car that just keeps accelerating faster and faster. The one kid pushes the other kid down and starts pointing and laughing and pointing and laughing.
Whoa. Let me run something by you, Frank. Okay? We spend our lives trying to create ourselves in this perfect image. An image of what other people want us to be. Even movies set a level of perfection we can never hope to attain, because the writer can rewrite the script and make it perfect. I want you to think about something, Frank. You see yourself as this perfect image, this hero. He's won his love, he's excelled at his job, and he's adored by his family and friends. The truth is, you live in mediocrity. You are not this perfect superhero that you see yourself as. No one is. Where your stress comes from is there is another Frank behind this perfect image. A Frank that is just like the rest of us, just like everyone else. A normal person with flaws. What I want you to think about is how to find that Frank. A Frank that you can grow to accept, and one that everyone else can grow to accept. And we'll discuss how to do that next week, okay?
What's this?
Just get it filled, Frank. It'll reduce your stress until we can get you some further help.
Excuse me.
So, what are you doing, Lenny? I'm gonna try to get out of here early. So
Hey,
on.
you forgot to check the Dropbox again. Now I have to refund late fees. One more time and I write you up.
Hardest thing to figure out about you and me. Ooh, I'm sorry, does that hurt? Huge wings thing.
I'll be in the back doing the dailies.
One were to want to kill you, what would you do? Pray.
Officer Hagen, how's it going?
Hey, Frank, just fine. And it's just Phil. This is my partner, Nora Webb.
Hi. So, how did Helen like the video?
Oh, great. Man, you were right. An action movie even a woman would enjoy. No wonder it made Banderas a star.
Desperado does it every time.
I'm sorry to interject here, but we actually came here for a reason.
Yeah, Frank, we need you to come down to the station.
What? It's not Darla, is it? Oh my god, there's been an accident, right?
No, nothing like that. Well, maybe we should talk outside. It's something pretty serious.
Mr. McCready, you visited your regular therapist at 8 this morning, right?
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
He was found murdered this morning.
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Johansson. It's Frank. Can I talk to Darla? Hello?
She's busy right now. Can I help you?
I really need to talk to her. Something's happened.
But can't this be relayed through the lawyers?
Is there a restraining order against me? There isn't a no contact clause in the divorce papers, so unless you've talked her into either one of these things, could you please put her on the phone?
You don't have to get snippy. I was just wondering what's so important that I have to go bother her.
Someone killed my therapist.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said my therapist was dead. Now will you put her on the phone?
Frank, what is this about? Mom said you were crying? Something about your therapist?
I wasn't crying. Someone came in after my appointment this morning and killed him.
Huh? Oh, you had an appointment this morning. Great. Anything interesting happen?
Are you listening to me? Turn off the damn radio for a second and pay attention. I said my therapist was murdered.
What? Oh my god. Frank, what happened?
He was stabbed right after my appointment. I just got back from the station. I had to make a statement there.
Oh my god.
They wanted to talk about my session and then I had to describe the guy.
What guy?
The guy who walked in right after me.
You saw him. Frank, are you okay?
Well, I saw a guy go in right after me. He was real creepy looking, like that guy from Phantasm.
What?
That old horror movie, the one set in the funeral home. Come on, you've got to remember the flying ball that drilled holes in people's heads. The guy looked just like that guy. Real tall and sunken eyes and everything.
You know, I don't watch those types of movies. You have got to start using adjectives and not analogies.
He was real tall and scary.
Okay.
Anyway, I think I really helped them. I had to work with a sketch artist and everything. And then they got all busy about some body they found in Howard Park. They were all running around and yelling and everything. I overheard them saying something about a desecrated corpse. Can you believe that? A desecrated corpse right by my house.
That's disgusting. I cannot even believe how sick some people are. I'm sorry, Frank. It sounds like you had a really terrible day. For what it's worth, I thought you were making real progress with this one.
He put me on an antidepressant. I hate the idea of being doped up all the time. Always have. I think I'd make better progress if you and I could get together more often.
Frank, how many times do we have to go over this? Your therapist said that this is not a good idea until you get these feelings under control.
Oh, what's there to control? I love you, simple as that. I don't want to control those feelings. I want to act on them. I need you in my life. I want you back. And as for my therapist's opinion, he's dead.
Stop yelling, Frank. Okay? Don't make me get a restraining order. I still think we can be friends.
No, that is not you talking. That's your mother talking. All right, she is brainwashing you. She's keeping you from me.
Brainwashing? I'm so easily brainwashed, right? Just like I'm somebody's puppet. Or is that what you wanted me to be, Frank? Just a good wife. that sits at home waiting for her man while he's out doing whatever the hell he wants.
You know damn well that I was working. I was trying to make a better life for us.
Being at home would have made a better life for us, Frank. Not spending all of our money on videos would have made a better life for us.
Yeah, so you just wanted to change everything that I am, just to suit your needs.
I wanted somebody to talk to, Frank. Somebody to share my life with. Not someone to hang out with and watch movies. Life is just one big metaphor for you. You have a show ready on the tip of your tongue for every situation. When your sister died, God, you came up to me and you said, "It's just like this character I saw on ER." I can't do this anymore. When you are ready to spend time with me in reality, then, maybe then we can talk about doing something, but until then, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. Don't let it get you down.
Why is it the only emotion I can get out of you anymore is pity?
Why do you let him get at you like that?
Like what?
Just cut him loose and get on with it.
I thought that's what mothers were supposed to do to their children. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't need this.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry.
Do you love him?
It's not so much that as I feel responsible for him. Mom, I chose to marry him, and then I chose to leave him. I made his life worse.
Darla, you cannot take responsibility for every stray you bring home. Sometimes you have to just let them go and hope for the best.
But then what's the point of letting anybody into your life? Doesn't loving somebody, even if it's just as a friend, doesn't that mean that you're accountable for how your actions affect them?
I don't know anything about that. I know he's a bad egg. And I know that Frank can never take care of you the way that you deserve.
But that's my point. What if you were Frank's mom, you know? But did he deserve me and what I did to him?
He was strangling you. You had no choice but to get out.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe what the two of you need isn't something better, just something different.
Hey, Frank.
Mr. McCready, may we come in?
Yeah, come on in. Have a seat. Coffee or I've got chai?
No, Frank, that's okay. We don't have much time. We just need to check on a couple of things about your story yesterday. About that man you say you saw in the waiting room?
The Gaunt Man.
Yeah, him. You say he went into the office and then shut the door behind him?
Yes, he went in right as I walked out.
Here's the thing, Frank. Your therapist didn't have any more appointments that day. He was supposed to go to a conference right after he met you.
Well, maybe it was a walk-in.
Then why kill the shrink?
Well, would you make an appointment if you wanted to kill someone? I mean, well, there's hundreds of reasons why he would be there. A jealous husband, a loan shark.
We checked with the secretary. No one was due in that day. No new patients, no old patients. We checked all of his files and no one matches the description of the guy you gave us. We checked the lobby cameras and no one matching that description entered the premises.
You had time to check all that since yesterday? I mean, especially with that other thing?
We split the department into teams. Your therapist used to work for the city and was well thought of. He got quite a few psychos off the street for us.
Here's our problem, Frank. There's your story about this man that you saw that nobody else that we interviewed said they saw. He couldn't have appeared out of thin air and just disappeared the same way.
Well, it's obvious then.
What?
He must have worked in the same building. He must have been a new janitor or a tenant, and no one's met him, and that explains how he knows the building so well. And he just picks up and he disappears right after the murder.
We thought of that. We checked with the leasing company and the building super. Came up zilch. When did the victim prescribe these to you, Mr. McCready?
That morning. Right as I was walking out the door. He handed me the script then. They're antidepressants.
There was nothing in your file about these.
You went through my file. That's supposed to be private.
Frank, we went through all the patient's files, not just yours. This is a murder investigation.
Then he must have thought of it at the last moment, just right after we were done talking.
And just what did you two talk about?
Am I a suspect now?
Frank, we have to check all the angles. You were the last one that saw the doctor alive.
Do I need a lawyer?
No, certainly not at this point. Other than the fact that nobody else has seen this Gaunt Man you talk about, your story checks out fine. We just need to dig deeper, and that means you too.
We do need to take you down to the station where we can go over your statement and maybe have you sign some things. Of course, we'll wait and follow you over.
Of course.
Sure you've told us everything?
Yes, I've told you everything that I know.
Let's go over it again.
We checked every angle, McCready. There is no guy matching the description you gave us. He didn't come in through any of the doors. If he didn't, how did he get in there?
I don't know. That's not my job.
This guy couldn't have appeared out of thin air. What are you holding back on us, Frank?
I'm not holding anything back. I've told you everything that I know.
Help us to believe you. Do you know why he was on hold to the police about the time you left?
And what do you know about a girl killed 2 nights ago? Stabbed with a long, sharp object, then raped.
and she's handling it like a champ. I know I'd never fare half as well as she did.
I'd throw a fucking party if I found my boss's decapitated body.
Oh my God, how can you kid around like that? The body's not even cold and you're already cracking one-liners.
Yeah, well. Oh shit, break's over. I better go, you know, just in case Hugo's getting the chop.
You're awful.
Really, McCready? Your file's not here. We have it down at the station. Pathetic, returning to the scene of the crime and all. Bright side, at least now we can get a psycho off the street.
Listen, you've got it all wrong. I found what you couldn't find. I found the Gaunt Man.
You're still selling that shit? Give it up. I've known it was you all along. I've got a trick knee tells me when there's a bad man in front of me. There is no other man.
You've got to believe me. The guy's name was Inger Tuber. It says he killed himself, but I think he faked his death.
You're so full of shit. I was on that case. There's no way. I saw the body myself. The guy was a real nut job, just like you. His wife left him, so he turned to stiffies. When business was slow, he drummed up some of his own.
But it has to be him. Even that girl. It's just like him, just like you said.
I checked on those pills. They weren't what you said they were.
Behind you, Tim!
What is going on? The police were just here. They said you killed a cop, Frank. They said you're having some kind of breakdown.
Hold on.
Frank, wait. What's going on? They asked me about some pills, and then they asked if I knew where you were that night that girl got
Someone's
killed in
here.
Howard Park. No, stop, wait.
Frank? It's just me. I came here first.
What?
I'm here all alone.
What is going on?
Put the sword down. That's it, Frank. I just want to talk. I know it looks pretty bad. It looks like you killed my partner. But bet you think you didn't do it, right? The lab said that shrink put some really powerful drugs in you. Why is that?
Fuck the drugs. I never used them anyway. Alright, look, I have proof, alright? I have the Gaunt Man's file. It shows everything. The MO is exactly the same. He wanted to start killing again, and that's why he killed the doc, because the doc would recognize it immediately.
Frank, I'm listening to you. I just...
Darla, are you still there?
Yes.
Oh God, hide. He's coming for you next, I think.
What are you talking about?
He killed Phil, Darla, right in front of me. He killed that other cop, too. I think he's going there next. Darla, I think he's coming for you.
Who, Frank? Who is coming here?
I found a file. There was a guy. He was a mortician. He was killing girls and then fucking them. All right? He hung himself right before going to trial. Only he didn't, or so I thought.
You're not making any sense, Frank.
I thought after reading the file that he faked his own death. My therapist testified that he was fit to stand trial. He was going to get the chair. Only he didn't fake his death. He really is dead, like a ghost or something.
What the fuck are you talking about? Is this one of your stupid movie ideas?
Just do it, all right? Just go someplace with your mom and hide until I get there. I'm just around the corner. It's me he wants, but he'll kill you to get to me. Darla, if you ever loved me for 1 second, just believe me and go someplace and don't let anyone in. Hide!
Let's just call the police and let them know that Frank is coming here.
I don't know. I don't want to get Frank into any more trouble. He says he's found something about the killer.
Darla, I remember the events he's talking about. It was all over the news. The guy killed himself. Frank is having some sort of mental breakdown. He's created this guy as some kind of scapegoat. What are you going to believe? That ghosts are killing people? Darla, they found Frank's fingerprints on the gun. Okay, hurry, upstairs. Call the police from the closet. Go, go.
Get in there. Go. Mom, please come out. Here, baby. Go.
Darla! Darla! Darla!
Call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Darla, no, no, no. Darla, wake up. Oh, thank God. Where is he? You can't have her!
Ma'am, would you like to step inside? Ma'am.
He gave me this. It's the killer.
Maybe I should take a look at that.
Make sure they get over there. SI on their way.
Did you open the folder? What did you find there? Was there any proof to what he'd been saying? Was there a Gaunt Man? We both know the answer. You've just been holding on to a frail hope that the man you once loved was not a schizophrenic. You don't want to accept that you let a man into your life who could kill your mother and all these people. Darla, I believe that these nightmares will stop when you accept the truth. There was nothing you could do differently to stop Frank. It's not your fault.